Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on inside a battery? You know, the one powering your phone, your laptop, pretty much your entire life on the go? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible force that makes it all happen, voltage.
Right? That little tube of metal seems like pure magic, but it's all science, and it's actually super fascinating. In this explainer, we're going to crack it wide open and see exactly what makes it tick.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll look at what's really inside that battery in your pocket. Then, we'll get to know the two main characters in this story, a couple of metals. After that, we'll watch the epic battle for electrons that unlocks all this energy, figure out how we can measure that power, and then, finally, put it all together. Sound good? Let's dive in.
I mean, just think about it for a second. A battery just sits there. It's this quiet, self-contained little powerhouse just waiting. And the moment you need it, you hit a button, and bam, you've got power. How does it do that? What's going on in there?
And that is the whole secret. It isn't magic, it's chemistry. All a battery really is a clever little box designed to kick off a very specific chemical reaction, turning chemical energy into the electrical energy that we can use exactly when we want it. So let's see how that reaction gets started.
So, to get a handle on this reaction, we've got to look at the main ingredients. The most basic version of a battery is called an electrochemical cell. And honestly, it's way simpler than you might think. It all just starts with two different kinds of metal.
And that's pretty much it. That's the core setup. You grab two different metals, let's say zinc and copper for our example, and you stick them into a solution that can conduct electricity. We call that an electrolyte. Now, the electrolyte is super important. It's like a bridge that lets charged particles move between the metals inside the battery. And the last thing you do is connect those two metals on the outside with a wire. The second you make that connection, the show begins.
So the moment that wire connects the two metals, an invisible battle starts. It's this tiny atomic-level tug-of-war over these little particles called electrons. This is the real engine of the battery, and the whole process is governed by two key ideas: oxidation and reduction. Okay, so here's the deal. One of the metals is a giver. It loses electrons. That process is called oxidation, and that metal becomes what we call the anode, the negative end of the battery. The other metal is a taker. It gains those electrons. That process is called reduction, and it becomes the cathode, which is the positive end. Now, I know that's a lot to keep straight, but here's a great little mnemonic. LEO, the lion, says jur. LEO, loss of electrons is oxidation. Jur, gain of electrons is reduction. Simple as that.
And you know, this quote really nails it. The whole thing works because different metals have different personalities, you could say. Some are desperate to give away electrons and others really want to grab them. But that brings up a good question. How can we actually measure that desire? Of course, scientists needed a number, a way to actually quantify this push or pull that different metals have on their electrons. And that brings us right to the main event of this explainer, electrode potential. That's the official name for it. And a really great way to think about it is as electron pressure. It's basically a score that tells us how badly a substance wants to either push electrons away and oxidize, or pull electrons toward itself and reduce. Now this is where it gets really cool. To figure out the scores, scientists created this ranking system. They measured everything against a standard. In this case, hydrogen, which they just set to 0. So anything with a negative number, like lithium or zinc, are the givers. They are really eager to lose their electrons. But things with positive numbers, like copper and gold, are the takers. They want to gain electrons. It's basically a lineup of electrical personalities. And this is why you pair a super strong giver like lithium with a good taker to get a really powerful battery for your car or your phone. Let's just zero in on zinc for a second. Its standard electrode potential is negative 0.76 volts. That negative sign is the whole story. It's like a big flashing sign that tells you, hey, this metal wants to give its electrons away. Okay, so we've met our metals and we know how to measure their individual push. So now for the big payoff, how do we get from these numbers to actual real-world power? This right here is the big secret. One piece of metal sitting in a solution isn't going to do anything. The real power, the voltage, comes from the difference in that electron pressure between the two different metals. It's all about the matchup. And this chart shows it perfectly. Look at this. We've got our taker, copper, sitting up there at positive 0.34 volts. Then we have our giver, zinc, way down at negative 0.76 volts. The total gap, the difference between them, is 1.10 volts. And that is the voltage of our simple little battery. You can think of it like a waterfall. The voltage is the height of the drop.
The bigger that drop, the more forcefully the electrons flow from the giver to the taker, and that flow is the electric current that powers our devices.
So let's just wrap this up. What's the bottom line? Batteries are just controlled chemical reactions. Different metals have different potentials, basically different desires to gain or lose electrons. And crucially, it's the difference in that potential that creates voltage. That voltage is the push that sends electrons flowing through a circuit, and that's what we call power.
And that brings us to the end. It's pretty incredible to think that just pairing up two different metals can create this predictable, reliable flow of energy. It really makes you wonder, if chemistry can create power from this invisible push and pull, what other amazing forces are out there, all around us, just waiting for us to figure out how to unlock them? Thanks for joining me on this one.